15 minutes live questions on property. Random one. So I'm going to take a few questions. So let's see who joins us. There was no warning, just a random live. Hit me up. What do you want to know about property? Making millions from properties, easily done. You just need an effective strategy. So ask me some questions. What do you want to know on property? If you haven't started in property and you want to know something, or you're in property right now and you want to know how to get to the next level, ask me a question. Lindsay, biggest learn in property, without a doubt, is learning the most effective strategy. Has to be. I think of my own journey and how much I fucked about for ages because my strategy was weak as piss. So learn the best strategy you possibly can and implement on that. James, will you come on my podcast, please? Yeah, absolutely. Someone did mention it to me. Who mentioned it to me? Someone did mention it to me. I can't remember now. But yes, I will come on your podcast, James. I'm on a podcast on... I'm getting interviewed by some dude on Monday who's got a big following. I should know who it is, but I don't. Hit me up. What do you want to know on property? Being a millionaire is easy. It's a choice. I ask people, I know that probably don't believe this, but do you want to be a millionaire or not? If you do, it's really easy to do, especially through property. Did the 3-day 18 months ago. How do I regain the motivation I had when I left the course? Hi, Michael. So, motivation is state. It's where you're placing your focus. So, clearly, your focus at the time was in terms of wanting to probably progress. You're probably thinking about where you were going, your vision, your clarity. So for you, the fact you've done the 3-day, you'll know what I'm talking about here, is revisit the discipline model, because whenever you come off track, it has to be one of those letters that are holding you back. So I would say revisit your discipline booklet and have a look in there in terms of motivation. So it's all about desire. What do you actually want? What makes you tick? And then thinking why you're doing things. If you haven't done it, get on it, because it's absolutely next level, which is what I'm saying in this live. That strategy is everything. People say to me about... to be honest, I get both ends of the stick. I get some people that say $7,000 plus VAT for your elite training, which is my highest level training. And they think that's a lot. Well, is $7,000 plus VAT a lot if you learn how to be a multimillionaire? To bargain where I'm sat chilling, which is laid out on my couch just watching a little bit of Soccer Saturday. And then I get people who say that it's really cheap. I get people that come off the back of it and say they'd pay 2-3 times more. And it's always the ones that have done it that say that. So come on, ask me a question. Are you thinking about getting in property, or have you wanted to do it but you've got some hurdle because you think you can't do it because you've got bad credit? That is not a hurdle. I have a solution for that. If you don't have any experience, then I have a solution for that. If you don't have, or if you have any CCJs or you think you're too young, or you think you're too old. I've got solutions for all of that. So that's my problem, that's not your problem. Or if you're in property right now, maybe you're wondering how can you take things to the next level. So hit me up. I'm giving you 15 minutes. Hi Chris. So Chris has done our 3-day an-elite training. If you're on here and you're wondering what the training's like, ask Chris. Chris recently done elite. Big Tony the Tiger's watching. Tony the Tiger's done 3-day elite and he's in the mastermind group. Lee Lennigan, he's recently done elite training. Come on, you've got 8 minutes. Ask me a question. If you're in property, even if you've done some training, ask me a question. How would you take things to the next level? Sean's recently done elite training. Ask him. Make it good. I've stopped watching in Musk. What the fuck's that, Justin? Elite is life-changing in more ways than just property. Property is the icing on the cake and the rest is the cherry on the top. Yeah, a lot of people say that, Sean. Hope you're doing well. Lee, what a week it was. Gary, best place to start when trying to find your first deal. So, for me, what I teach people is don't look for deals. Everyone's looking for deals. Make a deal. Create a deal. So I don't look for deals. I create them. People look for that below market value property. Create a below market value property. So speak to the agents and ask them. Just say you've got these 3 properties on and they're 100 grand. I'm willing to offer around about 70. Do you know anyone who's willing to take an offer? So I create deals. I don't look for them. James, how do we get investment from investors? So this is going to sound like a pretty stupid answer, but it's the right answer. Is you've got to get out there and you've got to fucking ask. So make yourself investable. What would you want to look for in somebody that you were investing your cash in? And tell me if I'm wrong. So I'm going to flip this back on its head to you guys. I'm guessing that the number one thing you're going to look for, or is going to be up there, is that you can trust that person, that your money's safe. So that's going to be a priority before you look and go, how much experience have they got? You're going to look and go, can I trust this person? So this is the reason why I say to people when they're looking for investors, they've got to buy into you. As long as you're yourself and you know that you're doing it for the right reasons, people will buy into that. So be yourself, be open, be honest. Don't bullshit anyone. And if a deal stacks and they know the money's safe, then people will more likely buy into the deal. So rather than your experience. So if they know they can trust you and they know that you've got good values and the deal stacks, then why wouldn't somebody invest in it? And then be prepared. So your level of standard. So if you turn up with an investor and just say, have you got £1 million, mate? Then they're probably going to be a bit sceptical. But if you arrange a meeting and you've got a nice investor pack and you show them what the deal is and you show them that you've thought into all angles, like who's going to build it, who's going to do the renovation works, what experience you've got, If you haven't got experience, how are you mitigating that with a good builder? What does the deal look like? What profits will they make? What comparables they are on the street? How long they'll have their money in for? What happens if things are delayed? And if you're talking to all those things and people can see you're well prepared, people are buying into you. So I believe just be yourself, be honest. It doesn't matter who you are. Some people are like you and some people won't. So don't try and be something you're not. Just be honest, be yourself. I'm a big believer in just being trustworthy, and your values will shine through. So if you do that, people are more likely to buy into. Chris. First deal was bought from Research in Elite, 20% below market value. Once refurbished, it will most likely be all money out. Rent will cover my Elite cost. Good stuff, Chris. Well done. And as you can see there, Chris is someone who's done the training. David, if I make a deal and I go to a bridging company, but I'm only on a low wage, about $1,000 a month, would they take me on? Yeah. So I've got a guy who I work closely with who's done our 3-day training, elite training, and he didn't have a job at all, so he didn't have any income at all, and he's now got a £3 million portfolio because I've taught him how to get around that. So if you've got no credibility at first, you've got no experience, there's lenders out there that'll work with you, but they're just going to charge you a slightly higher interest rate. And then once you've worked with them for, say, 18 months, 12 months, you can remortgage, get a better rate, and you've now got that credibility that you need. So you're going to have to bite the bullet on a slightly higher rate sometimes, but then once you move in, you've got that momentum and people can see that you're making deals work, then they'll throw money at you. So hit me up, guys. Tell me where you're from. Whereabouts in the country are you from? Hit me up. Where are we from? Charlotte. Let me read that. Done the last 3, the end of March, still setting up business. Is it worth doing Elite ASAP, or is it better to get some experience first? Doing Elite. As soon as you can possibly do Elite, you should be doing it. Your results are only ever going to be in line with your level of thinking. So think about it logically now, rather than thinking, right, it's fucking some sales pitch. Think about it logically. If you got a 5-year-old kid and they got their dad's business, it's exactly the same business, with exactly the same staff, with exactly the same market, with exactly the same systems. How quickly would a 5-year-old ditch that business and send it under? And that's proof that it doesn't matter about the marketplace. It doesn't matter how good the staff are and things like that. It's all about the person leading it and directing it. Obviously, all them things have an impact, but the main thing is the person behind it. Any results that you get are just an extension of you. So you're only going to be as good as your strategy that you have. You're only going to be as good as the knowledge and the confidence you have. So going on to Elite and getting that extra knowledge and them extra skills and a far better strategy, then you're just going to excel miles more quicker. So that's why it's best to do it as soon as you possibly can, because what it means is, let's say you waited 3 years, you're going to get 3 years of all right results, and then you're going to get the results of Elite. So I say to people, if you're going to do Elite, then get on it as soon as you can. The question is, will you get an ROI on your money? If you don't think you will, don't do it ever. And if you think you will, then why are you waiting? So Charlotte, I would ask people on here, you're in the community group, and there's people on here. Jess has done Elite recently. Lee is saying there, get straight on elite. Don is saying do elite. Dave Barwick's saying do elite as soon as you can. These are all people that have done it, guys. So, although some people will say I fucking paid them to come on this random live just to say that bullshit, I didn't. People come off the train and it's the reason why it's expanding. So, some people will know that when I ran the first ever elite, there was only 4 people on it. And then on the last one that I've just ran, there were 72 people on it. And the reason why it's expanding at that rate is people are coming off the back of it and building multi-million-pound portfolios off paying $7,000. So obviously that word's going to spread at a rapid rate. But you don't have to spend that. If you're just starting out and you're thinking, I want to get into property, then we have 3-day advanced training, and that's only 1,391 plus VAT. And you can make 20 grand off your first property. If you can't make 1,400 quid back plus VAT in property, then you won't fucking shooting. Must mean that you're half dead. David, where can I get discipline merch? We do sell it at our events sometimes. I don't really push it. However, we are going to have it on our website at some point. So that's the plan. We will have it on our website. But it's just not a big priority right now. What's this question here? Lee, I did 3-day end of March. I've signed up for elite, and now I'm in Gemma's business training. So yeah, well done, Lee, for committing at that level. And that's what I did. I just threw myself in. I didn't throw myself in as quick as that, being honest. The first personal growth I did, I actually fucked about. It was 200 quid. And it took me ages to make my mind up because I kept thinking, is this guy ripping me off and all of these crazy things? And then eventually I did it, got a good return. And then I went on and did a 1,400 quid program, got a really good return on my money. And then I went on and did a 2.5 grand product. And then I went into his mastermind and I was paying 20 grand a year. And it was the best thing I ever did. And I'm happy to give him a shout out. So Christian Simpson was one of my mentors, a really good guy, and it was the best decision that I made by far. Hi Stephen, I'm in Richmond, London. Do you take a wage to live on as a dividend at first before I hit the millions? Do you take a wage to live on? What do you mean by that? Let me read that again. I'm in Richmond, London. Do you take a wage to live on as a dividend? So, are you asking me personally what I do or what you should do? So, what I do, and I'm sharing my very private things with you. Me and Gemma both take a wage. We take 75 grand wage each, and then we take some dividends, and the company pays for my car. So that's what I do personally. Is that what you were asking, or are you asking what you should do? Chris, first deal after coming off elite. Chris, tell us about that deal that you did. Chris was one of the people that was on elite and thought he wouldn't be able to get any private investors and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make a success of things. And he's doing very well. And his lovely partner did the 3 days well recently. Tell us about that deal, Chris. Oh, he already has told us about the deal. First deal off coming off elite, depending on what gets approved, but it's either a GDV of 8 million or 3.3. Can't recommend elite enough. So the point I want to make here, guys, is I've got loads of mentees, and they're all on the verge of overtaking my results, and I trained them from scratch. So I've trained them from scratch, and some of them in less than 18 months are about to overtake my results. And I'm really happy about that. I don't look at that as a bad thing at all. For me, I'm really pleased that they're doing that. They had to take the action. Calf. I'm not going to lie, I done the 3-day and doubt if I should do elite. How wrong I was. Until you've done elite, you can't understand the value of it. If you're serious about property development, for me, elite is invaluable. Yeah. And Calf's doing really well. Dave, from the second day of the 3-day, I bought 3 properties with what I was shown using bridging. So yeah, just off the 3-day training, Dave bought 3 properties, and that was for 1,400 quid plus VAT. So well done, Dave. Dave's smashing it. Justin, if that's the case, how are they sourcing those deals and you are not? I can't be asked, Justin. The desire's not there. I mean, you know this yourself. You're the guy that asked me about should I do elite and should I push on because I've got good balance. So I've just made £1 million off my latest development. So how much money do you want? Some of these guys have got bigger desires than me now. I'll be honest, my desire now in property is not as big as what it was when I started out. So it's all about balance now, where when I started out, I was ruthless in terms of I would go away in the army, I would be on tour, and on my 4 weeks leave, I'd just work every fucking day. My last 4 years when I was in the army, I would go to work, travel home on a night because I was at RAF Lehman, and then I would work renovating properties on a night. I would live in properties with no heating, hot water. I can't be arsed with that stuff now, so my hunger's not as big as what it was. That said, across my businesses, I've made 1.5 million net this year, so that's after paying everything out. So how much money do you want is probably the answer to that. Sean, deal 1, 120k purchase price, flipping onto a mortgage now, GDV and valuation 220, 165 pulling out, 780 per calendar a month, continue rent, ROI on the 7k plus VAT, elite is what? So yeah, Sean's recently done elite, great results, did the 3-day and elite in March, amazing experience, bought my UK buy-to-let after 3 days to add to my portfolio, would pay 10 times to go on elite. Yes, Stephen, smashing it as well in terms of not just property, but emotionally as well, of where you are in your life and feeling better. So questions, come on, hit me up. You're all feeding my ego and telling me how good the training is, and I do appreciate that. Someone asked me a question. What do you want to know? What do you want to know right now about making money from property or business? Ask me. I'm going to hang around for another 5 more minutes. What do you want to know? Tell us where you're from anyway. Where have we got people from? Let's have a look. Daniel, Glasgow. Daniel, you're doing elite soon, are you not? Karen, hope you well. Concert, Wigan. Alan Howard. Alan, share your deal that you've done from coming off the back of elite. Share your deal, what you've done on here. Alan's smashing it. Harrogate. Sean, in your opinion, what is the best strategy right now? Best strategy, I think. So I actually put some on LinkedIn the other day. I'm going to tell you what strategies I think are shit first. So people who teach people on rent to rent, it's just a weak as piss strategy. It's creative that you don't need to buy properties. What you basically do is a landlord who rents properties, you agree a reduced rate and then you rent their properties out. So you're kind of subletting them and then you put your money on top. And the reason why I don't like that strategy is you never own the asset. So let's say, for example, you go get a 3-bedroom house and you agree a 5-year rent with that landlord for 400 quid a month. And then you split it into a multi-let. And let's say you're now getting 800 quid a month. So you're making 400 quid a month, which is just short of 5 grand, 4.8 for the year. And then let's say you've got 10 of these. So you could make yourself nearly 50 grand. But the problem is, if there's a spike in the market like there is now, and that landlord, all of his properties have just gone up, he might go, right, fuck this, I'm selling them all. So you've just built up all of that income that you rely on, and then someone takes it away from you. And also, you don't get the capital increase. Why would you only gain cash flow from property when you can own the asset as well, and you don't need to find money to buy it? So rent to rent for me is fucking shit. Flipping properties, you can make good money. But again, if you don't hold them, you're never going to get the benefit of compound effect. I've made 800 grand this year in capital increase. 800,000 in capital increase this year from holding property. So for me, by far, the best strategy you can do is be creative with contracts. So the latest development that I've just bought, I'm able to make £1 million, 1 million profit, and I don't need to have any staff. I don't need to do any building works, no planning, no architects, no delaying cash. I get cash on day one of purchasing it. So it's all around the creative strategy, knowing how to write a contract, being able to see a deal and knowing how you can maximise that deal in as quick as time possible. So understanding creative strategies is by far blows away what anybody teaches at all in property. What do you think about interest rates rises? I predicted we were going to get 3 rises within the next 3 months, and I was right. I think we've in 5 months, and I think we've had 3 of them. So I still think it's going to go up a little bit more. I'm expecting it to probably settle somewhere around about 1.5%, 2%, which is crazily low still. It has to do that to balance out, because property is going up at such a rapid rate at the moment. The interest rate has to go up in order to slow that down a bit. But you have to have polarity. So if there's a negative, there has to be a positive. If there's a positive, there has to be a negative. So if interest rates are going up, it's because property is increasing at a rapid rate, and that levels things out. So if you own property, like I've said, then you get the benefit of that capital increase. With all the success in the northeast, is it not a risk of saturation? No, absolutely not. There's 25 million homes in the UK. I'm sure there's enough for all of us to be successful. So my belief is one of the reasons why most people don't succeed in life is they're scared about there being a lack of something. And I come from an abundance mindset. There's enough of everything. I had a guy who, he might be on here, a guy I've known for a lot of years, and he sent me a message saying he was heartbroken, he split up with his partner and stuff like that. And I said to him about, first of all, if he can try and sort it out, and if not, there's fucking 3 billion fucking women on planet Earth. Are you telling me that you were fucking fortunate enough that out of 3 billion people, your perfect one happened to live in your fucking hometown, probably on the street behind where you used to live, or they drank in the same pub? Like, fucking hell, guys. Abundance mindset. There's enough of everything. There's enough of men, women, money, houses, fucking opportunities. I don't see a lack of anything. There's fucking everything's in abundance. Sandra, desperately trying to get some deals. Okay, tell me why you're not getting a deal. Tell me what you're doing right now that's stopping you from getting deals. Alan Howard, which one? Good answer, Alan. It was the big one that you were doing where, I don't know, I think it was it a £3 or £4 million deal and you didn't put any money into it? Justin, on Elite in September, you're going to love Elite. I'll tell you that now. You're going to love Elite because you're into mindset and I'm going to take you to a deep place. You're going to cry like a little girl. You're going to cry your little eyes out. And we're going to open them little floodgates and we're going to go soul searching at a deep level. And at the end of the week, you're going to thank me. Alan, 45 property portfolio, no money down deal. 45 properties, no money down deal, one deal. One fucking deal. And people tell me you can't buy property with no money. And Alan's come off the back of the property training and he's doing a fucking deal. That's 45 properties in a one. Chris, I've been a millionaire and lost it because of a dodgy girlfriend. Knocked me down, but I'm back up and ready to go big time. I've spoke to Scott and he reckons I should just go straight for Elite as he sees my drive. What are your views? I learnt a lot on Army course and mindset in the Brecon Beacons. First of all, you didn't lose your money because of a dodgy girlfriend. You lost your money because you went into a relationship. So first of all, you need to take 100% responsibility for your actions first. And not protecting yourself from that dodgy girlfriend. So first of all, take ownership for that. And then when you get it back, thank her. Send her a bottle of champagne. But yeah, if you've already been a millionaire and you've got that mindset for growth, get straight on Elite. Absolute no-brainer. And in terms of mindset on the Brecon Beacons, the mindset that I do with you will be a completely different level. I'll tell you that right now. I get people that have done training, that have done 3-day in Elite, and they're psychotherapists. They've worked as therapists all their life, and they even say that, wow, I've done this for 20 years, and I've never done mindset at this level. That's what I believe my strength is. So whatever that army training was, and it may have been good, I guarantee it's not 1 out of 10 in terms of what you'll do on Elite. How did you come across... Hi, Alan, how did you come across this deal? Did you make it or was it advertised? So David's asking a question to you, Alan. Dave, have you considered changing the name of the PIA because most people get much more from it than property training? The personal development mindset, the discipline mindset is so possible. I have kind of thought about it, but it's built up now. It's built up that well. People around the country are copying my brand logos and they're copying the brand name and setting up things the same because people talk about the PIA, the Property Investment Academy, that much. So I don't know. I'm looking to tie the discipline model in more, but will I change the PIA? I don't think so. Alan, 4.1 million, not a bean down. Well done, mate. Chris, can I come to Elite again? Those who are in the mastermind come on Elite. They come free of charge as coaches. Can you attend it again? If you're asking that, can you sit and do it again? We've had a few people ask. Nobody yet has ever paid and attended a second time. Although there's a few asking who've done it some time ago, can they do it again? And the answer would be yes. Sandra, I'm doing direct to vendor. I'm asking sources. I'm looking for empty properties and still getting knocked back with all the offers. I'm now looking down south and I'm looking big. I am persistent. So why don't, here's a bit of advice for you. Why don't you start to look for properties that aren't, if you've looked at empty properties and that's not working, why don't you start looking for deals that aren't deals and putting offers in and seeing who will take an offer? Try that. Chris, champagne is a Bonza idea. Yeah, absolutely. I said I was going to do something this week and Gemma said, no, you're not, fucking behave. Let your ego have a rest. So I've had someone who's tortured me for 3 or 4 years, wrote negative things on my posts, write things on my fucking sponsored ads, and quite a successful businessman as well. And he constantly fucking harps on about how much money he makes. And I had my accounts done recently in terms of what I made in capital growth. And it was probably about 5 times more the net figure which he makes a year. He makes good money, but it doesn't come anywhere near what I've done this year from capital growth, the building I've just bought, and the success in the other businesses I've got. And I said to Gemma, can I just put my P&Ls in an envelope and send it to him? And she said, no, you're fucking not doing that at all. I was joking, but I probably would as well, because he's just been a knob for 4 years. So yeah, if that girlfriend was dodgy and done that, then yeah, fucking send her a bottle of champagne once you make it back and say, thanks for the lesson, I'll never fucking make that mistake again. Darren, I've done Elite and now got my wife coming on the 3-day this month, so hopefully our goals will be aligned and mindset will be shifted. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps. If you're both in a line, then you're not going to pull against each other. So she'll love the 3-day, Darren, and that definitely will help you both. Simon, built relationship, negotiate 70% day one, mortgage, refinance, 30% deferred over a period of time. So yeah, Alan's using a strategy there which I teach, where you can buy property with no money and you're leveraging against the asset. So as he said there, he's put 70% up on day one and then he's agreed to pay the other 30% over a period of time. And again, people say, well, why would someone let you do that? There's many reasons why people sell below market value or willing to do deferred deals. So there can be tax benefits to it for them. You can also offer to pay them more because the deal works in your favour. You can give them a split of that. So actually it's a win-win. You can get a deal with no money in and you can afford to pay them more than what they were going to get on the open market. They might want to be retiring, so they might have made their money. So a guy that I recently bought property, my latest one from John, he was 83 and he's made 70 odd grand a year off this big development. It's served him really well, but he's 83 and he wants rid of it. So there could be many reasons why someone wants to sell. It might be a relationship breakup, it could be old age, it could be moving abroad. Sean, have a good afternoon, everyone. We've got to go do the dad duties. Enjoy, Sean. Kev, just made 3 offers using this strategy this week, Alan. Steve Hoyle is in the house. Steve Hoyle, someone who I've worked with for a few years now. Awesome bloke. Love it when we have a catch-up. We'll be having our little catch-up at our annual awards soon, Steve. So look forward to that. Simon, OPM, other people's money. What did you mean by that? Let's have a look at that. Is that replying to... no, Simon, I think you're replying to Alan's comment. No, he didn't use other people's money. He used deferred consideration and bridging finance. But using other people's money is another effective strategy if you know how to find money. We do an exercise on Elite where I show them how easy it is to raise money, and it's a lot easier than what people think. Question for you, Stephen. Last quarter you spoke about strengthening leases to uplift value to get a better commercial valuation. How does this apply to PBSA? What's that? Is that a serviced accommodation? We're looking at a student accommodation bills, but the leases are only done on 12 months rolling contracts. Student accommodation, so what's that? Tell me what that means, PBSA. I'm guessing it's Summit student accommodation. So uplift on commercial. So with student lets, you're going to limit how many ways you can get an uplift. What you could, purpose-built student accommodation, yeah. So you do limit yourself over other leases because you obviously, the quality of the tenant is not as high as a blue chip. And if you can tie them in for longer, that would be one. So try and negotiate a longer deal. See, you're better off getting a student to tie in for, say, 3 years and freeze the rent. So some landlords will go, great, year 1 I'll charge them, say, 5 grand. Year 2 I'll charge them 6. Year 3 I'll charge them 7. When you could actually better off not charging them any increase as long as they tie in for 3 years, because you'll get a higher uplift in the valuation of the building, meaning you can remortgage more, and the money you're able to pull out, you're able to make more than the increase of what you charge the students. So that would be one way I'd look at it. And also being able to reduce your costs. So when a valuer looks at a student accommodation, they're going to want to know, is there any management costs, running costs and things like that. So the more you can reduce them, the higher net figure you're going to be left with. And if that's a multiplier of 10. So let me give an example. Let's say your student income is 20 grand and you've got 5 grand's worth of running costs. So you're left with 15 grand net. The value is going to give you, say, rule of thumb, 10 times multiplier. So 15 grand times 10 is going to be 150 grand. So if you can reduce your running costs from, say, 5 grand to 2.5, so you get your 20, and then you're now netting 17.5 because you've got your running costs down to 17.5. A multiplier of 17.5, I'll now give you a valuation of 175 rather than 150. So try and reduce your running costs. Valuer can give you a higher valuation for that. Just transferred funds from a SIP into a SAS fund. Have you used finance using SAS funds? If so, anything to be mindful of? I haven't. I'm aware that you can use it to buy commercial property. For me, I would rather have it where you can control it, because if you know what you're doing with money, and you do, Darren, you'd be a lot better buying commercial property. Just play it smart. I would say look for things that you can be creative with, things you can remortgage, get your money back out. Something that's cash flowing straight away, if possible, and something where you can mitigate your risk by having multiple tenants. Kev, cheers mate, 3-year leases for something we're looking for first year. For first year. Yeah, so absolutely, Kev. Just even if that means you take a little bit of a reduced rent, just say that I'm happy. This is the figure, so it's I'm throwing a figure in the air. It's 500 quid a month, but we'll do them for 475 a month as long as you lock in for 3 years. And then if you do that, that's going to help your valuation. Okay, I'm going. I stayed a lot longer than I said I would, for 15 minutes. So if you're watching this either live or on replay and you are interested in doing training with us, you only have to read the comments of people who've done training, and you can see the good reviews we have. So absolute no-brainer. If you're wondering how you can get on training, I will drop a link in the comments and you can book a call to one of my coaches. It's no obligation. Have a strategy call. They will identify where you are, where you want to be, what your goals are, and how we can best help you get there. And then one of the things I pride myself on is we've got a great support group, and in that support group, you've got continued support after the training, so you don't have to go struggle alone. You're in that. You've got that support group for life. So I only have one rule, and that's if you're not a knob, you don't get kicked out. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day. Enjoy the weekend, guys. If you're thinking about getting started, 3-day advanced training. If you've done 3-day advanced training, you want to be on elite as soon as you can. Look at the guys in the comments. They're doing multi-million-pound deals. You do not have to struggle. If you're in a position to do elite, do it as soon as you can. So that's it from me. That's my nuggets on a Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm sure I will see you all soon on another live. Take care, guys.